Okay, so hi guys, it's Miss Lollipop and welcome back to another one of my videos, or welcome to my video if you are new. So in today's video, we're going to be covering my must-have skin details for 2020, and currently we're actually at the end of March. So these are my favourites that I've collected throughout the past year or so. So all of them are quite new and all of them should be all within date. I did do another video on all my other CC pieces for female as a must-have for 2020, and that was last month for February, or no. Is that right? Yeah, February. Last month in February, I covered all of my must-have CC for clothing, makeup, all of that sort of stuff. If you guys are interested in that, I will link it in the eye in the top right-hand corner. So go ahead and click on that and yeah, go ahead and watch that one. So you guys really wanted to see my skin details, okay? Because I asked you guys in the last video and you guys were like, yes, we need to see this. So here I am, bringing it to you. I've got my favourite skin details. I've got some skin and overlays for you guys. I've got some moles and freckles, highlight, contour, eyelashes, hairlines, nose mask, and lip overlay. So I'm bringing you the whole works today, okay? So this is Emily Sanderson. This is the sim that we used in the last video, so I thought it'd be good to use her again. But let's just go ahead and give her a hair where it's popped back so we can see her face a little bit more. So right now she's full of CC. So this is normally how I layer my sims, if you guys are interested. I normally layer in everything. So as you can see here, I have a little category thing that I've downloaded, and if you guys are interested in that, I can link that in the description as well, or I can link it in the comment section if you guys actually want to know what it is. It basically shows you all the CC that you have within this category. So obviously, if you guys know, you can't layer CC within the same category. So for example, this is forehead crease. So if I try to add something else in this section, it will actually take off her skin because her skin is just here. So it will go ahead and replace that. So it means that I can easily stack CC on top of each other and know that it's not going to take something else off when I apply a new piece of CC, if that makes sense. Go ahead and let me know if you guys want to see a link to that piece of CC, because it's super useful to make stacking CC really easy. So if you guys are interested in downloading any of these CC pieces, I'm going to be including the names of them on screen, but you can go ahead and check the comment section, and I'll be putting links to all of the downloads so you guys can go ahead and get these for yourself as well. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Let's go ahead and cover my favourite CC pieces. And first of all, we're going to cover some skins. I don't normally use full opacity skins, if that makes sense, because it changes the colour of the sim's skin, and I like to be able to use genetics in the sim's skin, so I always use custom skin tones, as you can see up here. So I always use overlays, as you can see. All this does is changes the contour and the shape of her face, but doesn't change the colouring of her skin. Does that make sense? That's what an overlay is, basically. So we're going to go ahead and cover my favourite pieces of CC. And yeah, we're going to go through the alpha things first, and then we're going to move on to the maxis match content afterwards, because I kind of flip between them, especially for skins. First up, we have N15 Skin Overlay by Obscurus. I'm pretty sure it's Obscurus. So this is actually the skin that she's currently wearing. So as you can see, it comes in a few different options. One is with a mono lid, so she has she has more of an Asian lid. Love the way that it makes their nose look. I think it's a really pretty skin. From what I know, it does change the whole body, as you can see. Her whole body's changing. So if I take it off, you can see that the contour in her body changes between her knees and everything. And if we look at the back of her bum, obviously her bum will change a little bit. As you can see, she's now got little lines here. Really beautiful skin. As you can see, it makes quite a major difference into what she as to what she looks like. So skins are a really big thing for me. So picking out the right skin on my sim is a definite must. Okay, so next up is the Ronda skin by CC&Mods Melancholic, which is just this one here. This is an absolutely beautiful skin. Again, it is an overlay, so it does use the same skin color. When it comes in two different versions, one doesn't edit the body and the other one does. It also adds some freckles all over the body as well, which is really nice. Again, as you can see, this is kind of how it affects the body. It's really pretty. It adds its own natural freckles, which I think is absolutely beautiful. I really like this skin. Normally have to add contour because I feel like it doesn't. As you can see, normally her cheeks are quite dark, whereas it doesn't really do that when you put this skin on. So I normally end up having to, add some custom things. So for example, right now, she's got a set of custom lips on. So if I just go ahead and remove all of her skin details, you can see that she looks pretty different. Let me just add her eyelashes back on because the poor girl, we can't do this to her. So as you can see in this one, her, her lips look really different and she looks really different to what you guys just saw. So obviously if we take this off and put it back on, she looks really different. but it is a really, really beautiful skin. But again, I would have to overlay it with a bunch of different things, because personally, I don't really like the lips too much. I feel like they look really dry, which is okay, because that's what we have lip overlays for, so we can change things in particular that we don't like about certain things, so I can just go ahead and change that if I didn't like it. But beautiful, beautiful skin, and I think it looks really, really nice, especially for taking pictures in game as well. So the next one that we've got is the Tender Skin Overlay in Skin F by PralineSims. Now this is the skin that is used on Thea in my Runaway Sisters challenge, if you guys know that. This skin is absolutely beautiful. It comes in a few different overlay options. As you can see, if you play around, it does change the way that the skin looks, and it changes the highlight on the skin. So it is really, really beautiful, and it does affect the body. So I normally, once I've found one that I like, I'll normally like play around and find one which I like. So as you can see, the one that's got like the black at the bottom actually adds in like a cleavage overlay, and the ones that have got a white at the bottom get rid of the cleavage overlay. So it's always good to sort of zoom out and get an idea of what you're changing, especially in a skin like this. But this one does affect the body as well as the face. But really, really beautiful skin. Takes pictures really, really well. There's some skins that look amazing in Creator Sim but don't translate as well into pictures in game, and I'm kind of like the person, like, I would rather it look ugly in Creator Sim and look nicer in my screenshots actually in game. So this one in particular looks really, really nice in screenshots, and as you can see, makes her like skin look really airbrushed, and also makes her nose like really rounded and cute. And the lips, I also find that I don't need to add my own lip overlay, because I think these lips look really stunning by themselves. But yeah, just as a future reference. So the CookieDough Skin Blend by Sammmi is really, really nice. It's a Maxis Match friendly skin blend, which I've been finding that personally I've been leaning a bit more towards Maxis Match. It's really, really beautiful. It comes in two different options. It comes in this more plain option, and it also gives them like a little darkening underneath where the cheekbones are as well. And it comes in this option, which comes with a bunch of little freckles, which again is really, really pretty. It doesn't change the body. As you can see, it doesn't actually affect the body, but when you add the freckles, all it does is just add a bunch of freckles over the body. It doesn't actually change any of the contouring. All it does is change the face, but it looks really, really nice with a set of eyelashes. Obviously, we're looking at Kijiko eyelashes. Okay, let me just add them on in accessories. Really, really beautiful skin, and it comes in a few different options. Really, really nice lips as well. And again, it gives her that cute little button nose, and also some highlight down the bridge of the nose. And on the Cupid's bow as well. So this one is also age friendly, so I'm pretty sure it goes all the way down to toddlers that you can use this on, which I like having various different options that you can use as they grow up, and you can keep the same sort of look as they age. So quite nice having, you know, skins that apply from toddler all the way to elder. Okay, so next up is the EssentialsTM Skin Blend number 1 by Simbience, and this one is just this one here. And as you can see when I apply, it is very much like the CookieDough one, but comes in a few different options where it changes the eyelids, which obviously give it like an Asian eyelid. Also changes the lips, which I really, really like this way of like the way that the lips look, which obviously looks really nice, and it comes in a few different versions. You can change it depending on what ethnicity you feel that your sim should be, and also, you know, makes the nose look really nice. So next up is the Honey Skin Blend by Ajduckie, and this is one that I've been finding I've been using so much. Again, it does the same thing with the lips. You guys know that I've just got a thing with that with that little thing on the lips. Really, really nice. Again, it comes in a few different options depending on, you know, where you want highlight, where you want contour, that sort of thing. You can deepen the, you know, the darkness around the nose. I don't know how I'm explaining this. I really hope you guys get what I'm saying. But yeah, it looks really, really nice. This one unfortunately does not allow you to change the eyelids, but you can always add an eyelid overlay or an eyelid mask that makes obviously the Asian eyelids if you wanted to do that. But overall, really, really pretty skin, and I do find that I'm gravitating towards this one quite a lot. And the last Maxis Match skin blend is the Pumpkin Skin Blend number 2 by Simbience again, and it's just this one here. This one is a little bit different to the rest. Although it is still Maxis Match, it definitely is leaning towards more alpha, but really, really nice. You can get rid of the little bum chin that she's got there, so don't worry about that if you're not really into that. But I do like the way that it makes the eyelids look, and specifically the nose and the lips. But again, this one does come in an Asian option, and it looks really, really pretty. I just love the nose on this skin. It just is so cute. It's such a cute nose. Okay, so that's it for skins, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the moles and the freckles. Okay, so first of all, we're looking at Freckles N1 by 4W25. So the Freckles N1 are just these ones here. Now obviously they look a little weird, but obviously I normally go ahead and turn them down like this. And obviously you can change it between just the nose, which I normally don't use. I normally use this one here and use it on a nice toned down one. It looks really, really nice in game, and it just covers the nose and the tops of the cheeks with some freckles. Really looks nice and sun-kissed. I really, really like these freckle options. So it's probably some of my most used freckles freckles are the Alf-si or Alf-si freckles, and these ones are the soft ones. These ones are the ones that I use most within my game. It comes in a few different colour options as well. Also depends on how many you want. This one is like more freckles on the nose, and then this one is less on the nose. But comes in a few different colour options if you want really light freckles or if you want them to be really dark, depending on the skin tone of the sim as well. And the next up is the March freckles, again by Alf-si, which is just the ones next to it. These ones are really nice, and these ones are all over the face freckles. I think they look really, really sun-kissed on the skin. Obviously they come in a bunch of different colour options depending on what skin tone your sim has got. Specifically these ones look really nice at these like orangey coloured freckles. We've also got the BH08 freckles by Busra-TR, I believe it is. And these are what these ones look like. Really, really nice freckles. Again, there's not really too much to say about freckles. Each one is just, you know, a little bit different. Some of them have got more, some of them have got less. They all come in different colour options, so depending on your sim's skin tone, you can add more or less. And also pick, you know, colours that suit your sim's skin tone more. If they're deeper complexion or lighter complexion, then you can obviously find one that suits you. But again, really, really nice, and I find myself using these. We're going to move on to the moles, and I've actually got a set of body freckles for you guys, which I find myself using as well, because obviously I normally add freckles on the face and then some body moles all over the body. And these are the body moles by Prxnce, but it's with an X. The eyes with an X, you'll see it on screen anyways. And this is what they look like. As if we zoom out, they're really, really faint, but you can actually adjust them to make them go darker. And the darkest one, as you can see, is just a few different moles all over the body, and again looks really, really nice, and just adds a little bit of character to your sim. I really, really like adding moles to your sim because a lot of people naturally have moles, and you know, all the sims normally look really perfect, so it's nice to be able to add moles and make them look a little not perfect, shall we say. Okay, so last up is the moles number 2 by Scarlett-Content, and again I've got a link to these as well. And these are what the moles look like. These are a few different versions. These are only covering the face, but some really, really nice options, and some are obviously more, some of them are less, but I think they're really, really nice places to have the moles, and I find myself using them. They're in the perfect place being further down here in the dimple section, because normally I don't put dimples on my sims, so it's quite useful having them in this section specifically. And yeah, really, really like these moles and find myself using them quite often, again with all the other things that I'm giving you, because these are my must-haves. These are things that I couldn't take out of my game basically, because at some point I'm gonna need them. Okay, so we're gonna move on to some different highlights. Now a lot of my highlights can actually be in makeup, so I've got a few different options for makeup and a few different options for skin details, so I'm giving you guys the best of both worlds here. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the Samantha Face Shine by Screamy Mustard, and it is just these ones here in the freckles section. Absolutely beautiful highlight. It's really nice, as we can see if we take it off and put it back on. It adds highlight on the chin, around the edges of the mouth, on the cupid's bow, on the edge of the nose, literally just down the bridge, also on the eyes in the inner corner, and also on the lid as well. And I think they're really, really nice places because it's definitely where the light would hit on your face naturally, and again it takes pictures really, really well. So last up in the skin details for highlights is the Face Shine Mask Selena, I believe it is, by PralineSims, and it's just this one here. This one adds a little bit more of a pore texture on the face. As you can see, it makes it look like little pores. Now you might find that this is a little bit too much, which luckily it comes in a few different colour options. Normally I find myself using quite yellowy options, especially on sims of this sort of complexion, but you can go ahead and tone it down a little bit, and specifically it looks kind of like overbearing right now, but as soon as you add a skin on the sim, it definitely changes the way that they look quite a lot. But now we're going to go ahead and move on to my makeup, and in my cheeks section I've got a few different highlights. So the first one up is the Obscurus X Melancholic highlight, which is just this one here. This is a really, really nice highlight. It looks a little bit more like the PralineSims one, as you can see, and comes in a few different options. These ones are different variations of like toning down the colour, depending on obviously how, you know, transparent you want it to be. But it does come in a few different options depending on where you want the shine to hit. Personally, I just find myself using this one all the time and just toning it down maybe to like the second or third one. And again, once your sim has got a skin on them, this looks really, really natural. So probably one of my favourite highlights that I find myself using. And the last highlight is the Naomi highlight number 4 by the Sims 3 Melancholic, and it is just this one here. Again, obviously, as you can see, it looks quite porous, but this one instead is a little bit more under the eyes, and also on the forehead and on the eyes as well. Really, really pretty, and comes in a few different colour options. So if you don't like the full intense bright white light, you can change it to a more peachy colour, or even if you want to go pink, you can literally go any colour you like. Yellow is really nice on deeper skin tones. These are all pretty versatile, so you could use them on any sim basically. Okay, so moving on to the contour. So in here, we've got a Gopolsny face contouring just here. And as you can see, if we go ahead and apply it, obviously it did go lighter, but comes in darker options. And depending on how dark you want it to be, you can put it all the way to the bottom. I really like the placement of this contour, and I think it adds a really, really nice depth to the face. The contour is absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I thought it was worth mentioning to you guys. Okay, so next up we've got the Alisa Contour number 7 by PralineSims, and this is probably one of my favourite ones, especially to tone down. I really like the positioning of it on the Sims face, and as you can see, it creates a really, really nice halo effect around the edge of the face, and also creates like depth underneath the cheekbones. It's in a really, really nice position and gives your Sims face a bit more depth, especially if you've got like no skin, or the skin that you've got on doesn't really have much contour depth. And next up we've got the Cheekbones Contour by Gopolsny. As you can see, we've got a few different options here. It does come in a darker option. These ones are set a bit further back because they are mainly about the cheekbones and less about the shaping of the Sim's face. But these ones are really nice because they do come in different colour tones. So as you can see, it's like much more like a line of a contour and less like a little halo effect. It does come in a few different colour options depending on the shades of your skin, the shade of your Sim's skin as well, and comes in lighter options or comes in like darker options for darker skin shades. But this one's a really nice one, and I think that is about it for my contours. So we're going to go ahead and move on to my eyelashes. So honestly, my eyelashes are pretty much a given, but I thought I should include them in case you guys are new to the game and you guys haven't got them, because although we always basically talk about them in every video, at least every YouTuber that I see, we don't always actually talk about them necessarily like we should do. So in the game, we use the Kijiko eyelashes. I have every single one installed, but mainly I find myself gravitating towards these ones in particular. These are the version 2 expansion meshes. These ones are really, really nice because I find that they're long and fluttery, but you can also go with the version 2s that are not the expansion mesh, which are just the normal ones. But the particular ones that I've linked are these ones just here. These ones are probably the most dramatic, but I like them in the third option just here. I kind of like going for like super fluttery eyelashes, and honestly, who doesn't want their Sim to be swept away by the wind when they go outside? Because these are beautiful, and if I could wear them in real life, I definitely would. Okay, so we're coming up to the last few categories now, and the next category is the hairlines. So most of my hairlines are from Gopolsny, and the first one is the G4 one, which is just this one here. So as we can see, she's got like a hair on at the minute, which actually cuts into her head a little bit. So it's a perfect representation of how we should be, you know, representing this. So if I just go ahead and descalp her a second. No, you know what? I'm going to keep her hair on her just for a second. We go ahead and pop this on her. Adds a little hairline around the edge if I take it off. Obviously, it adds a little hairline that goes down towards her ears, which is very realistic. Most people, especially if you have longer hair, have little baby hairs that run down there. Comes in so many different colour options. This is actually in a black, but you can change it to a dark brown. You've got blondes, you've got pinks. The second version I've got is the Hairline V2, which is just this one here. Comes into the face a little bit more depending on how big the Sim's forehead is. Honestly, if that Sim has got a bit of a wham forehead and you don't want that there, if you don't want that 5 head, you can go ahead and pop a hairline on them and get rid of that whammo forehead. Nothing wrong if you've got a whammo forehead, okay? I've got a whammo forehead too, but I have a lot of baby hair, luckily. So you can go ahead and change the different colour variations of this. And as you can see, it does also bring it down towards the ears as well, and add cute little realistic hair options, you know, further down. We're also going to be looking at a middle parting, so I think this one's probably best if I scalp her for this one. So this one is actually a middle part, so this is normally what they look like when you scalp them. Oh my god, it's actually scary. This one is a middle part just here, and as you can see, if you go ahead and pop it with a middle part hair, for example, this one you can't really see. Hold on, let me see if I can find a middle part. Here we go. Okay, so here's some middle part hairs. If I go ahead and pop that on her, as you can see, that looks pretty perfect, considering obviously the hair that she's actually got on. So if we go ahead and take this off, that's what it looks like without, and this is what it looks like with. Adds hair that comes down and obviously adds to the middle part. And again, if you go ahead and have a look just under here, we go ahead and take it off, it gets rid of that, and if we put it back on, it adds that. I just think it definitely makes the hairs on the Sims look so much more realistic, and if you haven't got hairlines, you should definitely be using them, okay? And this one is Hairline #1 by Obscurus, and as you can see, this one is also a middle part, but much more natural. This one is probably my favourite one to use, so I don't know why, but I think it's because it comes down a lot further. So if we take all the hairlines off of her, I think she might have one on already. There we go. If we go ahead and take that off of her, and then we add just this one on. It does actually block out a lot of this, you know, weird texture that we've got going on further up to her forehead, depending on how big the Sim's forehead is. But again, it is a really, really nice and natural hairline. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy those ones because they're some of my favorites. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the nose masks, and honestly, nose masks are a must. These are the biggest things in the game that I cannot live without, excluding skin overlays, okay? Because skin overlays are something else altogether, you need those. But nose overlays, noses in the Sims completely change the way the Sim looks. So we're going to have a look at the nose mask #1 set. So nose mask #1. But just look at how much it changes her nose, how much it changes her face just by adding that. Now obviously not every nose overlay is going to look good with specific types of skins, because sometimes they don't always match up in terms of colour, they don't match up in terms of contour. Like for this one, for example, the contour is a lot further at the eye base, and you feel like the contour should run all the way down. So to be honest, the nose is absolutely gorgeous on this skin by itself, but these are just some different nose options that I'm saying you could definitely change the way that a skin looks just by adding a quick little nose overlay. It changes a lot about the Sim. So if I go ahead and take the skin off completely, this is what a nose looked like originally, and this is what it looks like with a nose overlay on. Now, if you guys watch any of my videos, you guys would know that this nose in particular is actually from Kelsey from the 100 Baby Challenge. So if you guys are interested in getting Kelsey's nose, because you can create a Sim that looks very much like Kelsey just by using her nose, which is why her daughter Amber looks a lot like her, because I definitely tried to use this nose overlay to make it look like, you know, it carried down in the generations, the same nose. This one is linked in the description, and again, it's nose #1 set by Remus Sirion, this nose overlay. So it's really, really pretty. So next up is the nose mask #10 by Obscurus. Again, as you can see, I've got a few favorite creators. So if you guys see a particular creator make a nose overlay, honestly, a lot of their other nose overlays are very similar and they have that same sort of style. So if you find that you really like a specific style, go back to that creator and see if they've got any more nose overlays, because it's always a good thing to go back to them, which is what I done for Remus Sirion, and I've found a bunch of nose overlays that I really, really like, and I'm always testing them out within my game, and each Sim makes them look really, really different. This is one of my biggest things I would say makes the Sim look different by using these nose overlays. But nose mask #10 overlay by Obscurus is just this one here. Comes in a few different color options depending on which skin you're using, you know, what shade of skin tone your Sim's got. But if you go ahead and darken it up, you can make it go really dark, which obviously doesn't really look very realistic. But depending on, you know, what shade of skin tone your Sim's got will depend on how it looks. But it normally goes ahead and matches straight to the skin tone just by using the first one, but it adds different levels of opacity to make it go darker. But the first one is absolutely beautiful, and I think it adds these adorable, adorable little nostrils. Honestly, if I had a nose like this, I would just die happy. I would go to the grave and smile all the way there. So next up is the nose mask #6 overlay by Remus Sirion, which is just this one next to it just here. Absolutely incredible. This one again has got really, really pretty like little nostrils, and again does the same thing where it comes in a few different color options. This one in particular doesn't have a lot of highlight or contour, but this one does and makes it a little bit darker. But if you go ahead and, like, you know, add a skin on it, for example, it looks really, really good with this skin in particular. So depending on how the skin looks will depend on which version of the nose overlay that you use, but you guys can get the idea. It looks really, really pretty and definitely changes up the way that the nose looks by default. But yeah, really, really nice skin overlay, and you guys, really, really nice nose overlay. You guys should go ahead and get your hands on it. We're also going to be looking at the nose mask #4 overlay by Catverse, and it is just this one here. This is a really, really adorable one. I always find myself using the second to third version of this one in particular. The first version I just find washes out a bit too much. If you come back, like, it looks like she has no nose, like kind of like Voldemort. So if you go ahead and apply the second one, this is like the perfect balance of contour and highlight on the nose, and looks really, really pretty, and adds like a more of like a pointed nose, I feel, instead of like a round on the nose, like on the tip. And last up on the nose mask overlays is by Obscurus X Melancholic, and it is just this one here. It is absolutely adorable. As you can see, it's a really, really cute little button nose and comes in a few different color options as well. As you can see, you can make it really, really dark depending on the Sim's skin tone, would look great, but normally the first one looks absolutely perfect and gives her this amazing little button nose. If you're making a button nose Sim, this nose overlay is a must. It's the one you have to go for, because look how cute that little nose looks. Oh my god, it's so cute, and the nostrils are really nice as well. Okay, so it looks like that is it for my nose overlays, and the last Last thing that I want to cover, which you guys are always asking me for, especially in my streams, which normally I can't go ahead and name it because I always forget the name of them. This is the lip overlay I use, and they are called A Little Bunch of Lips by Alhydro. Okay, I butchered it. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. So these ones in particular, there's about 6 or 7 of them varied around. So for example, this one is in this section in the lip mole left. So these are lip overlays. If I go ahead and take them off, you guys can see what, you know, my sim looks like with her original lips. We go ahead and apply them. They come in a bunch of different colors. This one is my favorite. Okay, I have a thing about it. These ones are so cute, making them really dark. Means you don't even have to have lipstick on your sim. It's so useful. I normally find myself using these if I don't like the lips that come on a specific sim, which honestly, alpha lips, I'm not the biggest fan of. They kind of look really dry and flat. So these ones in particular make them look really plump and luscious and just like there. So I find myself using these on every single sim. So you guys are always asking me how I make my sims. These are the biggest things that I would recommend to download, just to like layer on top of skin. I have covered just about everything. I'm sorry that I waffled your ears off, but you guys tell me that you like these videos in a bit more detail and a bit more context so that I can explain, you know, why I use them, in what way I use them, and you guys are always asking me how I make my sims, so I thought it was a perfect time to go over them. But if you guys are interested in seeing anything else from me, maybe you want skin details for my men and my children, you know, my kids, that is children, am I an idiot? My toddlers, my children, any of that, males, females, different genders, go ahead and let me know, and obviously I will go ahead and work on those videos as well. And I've also got another video coming for you guys tomorrow. I'm hitting you up with a survival house. So if you guys liked the last Hunger Games video, which again I'll include in the eye in the top right hand corner, go ahead and watch the survival house, because it's kind of similar, except one of them is a killer. One of them is a serial killer. Instead of like, you know, everybody trying to survive, it's like one person goes around and kills everybody, I believe. But I don't know. We're just gonna try it out. It's a new mod that came out by Kijiko, and I saw it and I was like, bam, that's a bit of me. So we're gonna go ahead and kill off some sims tomorrow. So really excited for that. A little bit of a change, and you guys know that I've been enjoying killing off sims recently. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode off here, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, hope you guys stay safe and stay inside. You know, don't go out, self-contain yourself, do not leave the house, and stay safe, and I will speak to you all in the next one. If you guys did enjoy this video, remember to go ahead and subscribe, ding that little notification bell next to the subscribe button to get notified every single time I upload, and also go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed. Remember to go ahead and leave a comment if you've got any questions for me, and I'll get around to them as soon as I can, and I will speak to you all in the next one. I love you all. Bye guys!